Okay, thank you, Vishal, for the introduction. Am I clearly audible and is my
Yeah,
desktop
you are audible.
visible to you?
You want to share your video also?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, then I think I have shared your screen. You can proceed. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Should I wait for some time or am I good to start?
yeah. You are good to start. Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Anusuya Goud. I'm just giving my introduction once again. I am an Microsoft C# developer, or specifically on SharePoint and Office 365 technology front. And I have been like I have 10 years of experience overall, and this is my first virtual conference. Hopefully everything is good. Today the topic we have chosen is Microsoft Power Virtual Agents and Power Automate Interaction. This is a no-code bot. We'll just see the introduction part of it. What's the advantages of all these things? I'll come to the agenda part. Yeah, so before I start, I would like everyone to donate and support UNICEF for this beautiful cause they are doing. So this is a barcode scanner. Please use this and then do your part. Thank you. Okay, so the introduction here it goes like I work for Cognizant and I am like my technologies are .NET, SharePoint, Azure, and G Suite area. I've been more on working on development, but this I'm trying to be more of participating in sessions, and so that's the reason I mentioned I'm an introvert coder and not technologically social. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. The agenda for today is let's talk something about bots and AI. What are the benefits of that? And why do we need Power Virtual Agent? Why did Microsoft come up with such a topic? And then what are the licensing information and what considerations needs to be done in case if we are building our bot with the Power Virtual Agent. So, and please stop me in case if you feel like I'm going very fast, and stop me if you don't understand at any moment. Okay, so let's continue. So first thing is like everyone needs to understand why we need bot, why we need AI, what are the advantages of having artificial intelligence and bots around us. So like first important area is like voice enabled assistance. Like I guess everybody might have been already using voice enabled assistance, like in your phone. If you have Google phone, you have Google. If Google Voice, if you have iPhone, you have Siri, and then you have Alexa, and like I guess everybody is used to them. So the main advantage of voice assistant enables in the workspace. Like since we are talking about technology, we will consider the workspace, like all your office workspace as the main area. So in that, let's say that if you walk into a meeting room and if you want everything to be handled by a voice assistant, let's say that Cisco has come up with a voice assistant by the name Spark. So if you give a command like, hey Spark, join the meeting, or hey Spark, place a call, or hey Spark, call some person, like call Jonathan. So it will pull up all the Jonathans in the Active Directory and give you details. So this benefits, this saves a lot of time, and then this avoids all the conflicts like calling and then looking for the person and all this information. So this helps definitely with the help of AI. You can do it quickly, and with the chatbot you can think like, okay, what do you want to think? Like, do you want to think the Active Directory with this, or do you want to think the LinkedIn people with this? So just through the bot you can give all the commands. And next is improve meeting ergonomics. So like, what do you mean by ergonomics in the meeting? In the sense like, I guess everybody might have faced this problem. Like if you go to a long conference room, camera will be somewhere else and you'll be sitting somewhere else, and there is a remote where you have to control who's talking and who has to be zoomed and all. So most of your time just goes in, if you concentrate on this, then the actual meeting intent will not be served. So this can be avoided by AI by like constant like zoom and camera pointing out through the artificial intelligence. Like let's say that if someone walks into the room, then and starts speaking, the camera can constantly frame to that person and can be audio can be captured very clearly without any disturbance. So this reduces a lot of effort for the person who is actually zooming in and trying to monitor. And also, if you have observed in many of the conference calls, if somebody is on the telephone lines, if there is some background noise like keyboard typing or some dog barking, all these things can be controlled through your AI and chatbot. Like AI can capture all this voices and then mute those lines. In case if there is too much of noise coming from this one line, it can be configured or programmed to mute the line immediately if there is a sequence of such noises. So this helps a lot in our daily life. And then next is facial recognition. Imagine you get a video call from someone, but you don't know the person. So at that moment, you slightly feel, okay, it would have been better if there was a name shown on top. So even today that can be achieved, where if you're directly integrated in your system, if you get a call and the name of that person pops up. So this definitely helps us to identify and then continue conversations. And then so you can with the help of AI, you can sync it to either Active Directory, or you have a separate employee directory, or LinkedIn, or you have a separate system where you manage all the users. So this can be easily configurable. So again, this is a very good beneficial feature. Then I'm talking about proactive listening. Proactive listening is right now all the agents what you are using have to be invoked through a command, like they are passive until a keyword is spoken. So obviously this is logical because you don't want anybody to interrupt your conversation. So you don't want bots to be talking to you like normal people. So you should just issue a command and then they should respond. But like I read an article that Cisco is coming up with a device called Team TV, like where they have in a meeting, let's assume a meeting room where they have this device, and if somebody is talking or explaining something about architecture diagrams of Azure, let's say that Azure data, like data science or something. So there is a screen. So what this bot does is it immediately pulls up the Azure architecture data stream or data sciences image and just projects it onto the screen. So it acts like a active agent. I mean, like it doesn't respond to you, but at least it tries to participate in the call, and then it tries to like serve you with the required purpose. So that's like it will be helpful in case if you want to pull up something but you don't want to spend time on it. So this is something being worked on, and I hope this will come soon to us as well. Then virtual reality, I assume that everybody has seen these VR devices where you see all the 3D images and you feel like, okay, it's actually happening in the real. So let's imagine in the real life where you're in a conference room and you are trying to build something and you want that in a 3D view, or how does it look? Let's say that you want to configure some server room. Then if you want all the rack of servers, all something, or if it is a different stream, like if it is a hospital or student lab, like where they want to see the heart pumping image. So if that is placed as a VR image, like right in middle of the room, if that is placed, so that's really helpful to understand or learn. So these are major use cases of AI, which is in major attraction, or everybody is working on this. So the reason I mentioned all these are like we are already living in a world where chatbots, computers, microphones, cameras are embedded into everything. So this is called as ambient computing. So you're already part of this, and I can imagine how much it will be in the future. So definitely one will approach chatbots or any customer kiosk or help desk through a programmable code where you need to have the solutions very quickly. You don't have to wait, and you want an accurate answer. So the main need of the hour is some systems like this and the ease of development, because like there are already existing systems, but the ease of development was not available to us. Like not every developer, like a beginner or a business analyst or like management person could not have gone into the coding. I mean, like you need a lot of understanding if you had to do the chatbot. But Microsoft has come up with our virtual agent, which helps us to build with no code at all. I mean, like with very zero knowledge of the coding, you can just build a chatbot and help every scenario. So that's the main intention of having all these details. I hope everybody is on the line with me. If I'm going to pass, please let me know. Vishal, am I good? Vikas or Vishal, I'm sorry. Vishal, it is, yeah. Hello? Okay, let's. Hello?
So,
yeah, Vishal, am I clearly audible? Should I continue with the rest?
yeah, you can continue. You're
okay,
audible.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And real-time use statistics, like the advantages of having all these bots, like many of the team, like many of the companies have already integrated this, and like we have the results like, for example, Expensify. Expensify is a company that streamline and automate expense reports and travel arrangements. They have they have integrated the bot, and that helps them reduce the banking problems by 75%. Just with the help of bot, they reduce the problem by 75%. So similarly, 1-800-Flowers, they are the floral and gourmet retailer. They also reduced their problems with the ordering by 70% after introducing the chatbot. So similarly, it goes for all the other major retailers like H&M, shopping retailers. Then Amtrak. Amtrak is a major, it's a railroad passenger corporation service in all the 48 states. So they have reduced it a lot of the traffic just by using the chatbot. Then we have services like First Job, where people contact them in SMS, Facebook, Skype, email, or chat because of the job openings and all. So everything needs to be monitored, and it was tough for the First Job to recruit all the people just to manage all this. So they have done it through the chat, and that reduced a lot of their effort, and the engagement increased by 150%. So there's a lot of benefit of introducing chat into your company if it doesn't exist as of today. So this is the advantages of the having the chatbot. So now moving on, like as I mentioned already, chatbots were already there with us, but the need was too much because there were too many actors involved and too much of technology or coding involved. Now, since like let's imagine that if you need some business to be converted to a chatbot, then definitely you need business data consumer as well as the person who gives you the details, like the client, then the project manager or team manager. Then you need a data analyst to analyze what type of data. Then you need a data scientist to gather everything and feed it to some system. Then the data engineer, and then the developer who is actually working on this. I mean, that they have to pass this information. So this was reduced by much ratio by introducing Power Virtual Agent, like the API developer and the bot developer. So these two are become the main resource here, and like they are definitely just like with the help of UI and directly contacting the client. Like they don't need too many actors in between. Like you just get the details and then you immediately build in front of them using the tool. That will demo it later. So we have reduced a lot of man effort and as well as too much of system effort by going with the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent. Then just an introduction to what is Power Platform. These days, like every Office 365 operation or any application is being developed in the Power Platform. So Power Virtual Agent is also one of the agent of the Power Platform. So this is just a basic description. Like we have Microsoft Teams, like this meeting is basically conducted in Teams, this session. So you have this Teams is a very strong agent, like where you can connect, you can share, you can have conferences. So then Power BI is for analytics. Like every system will needs to have a strong analytics to see what is the usage of that. So Power BI gives you the strong analytics. Then apps is for application development. Automate is for process. Like if you have to make a flow or make a process of any business flow, then Power Automate helps you with that. We'll see the demo how to use Power Automate with our Power Virtual Agent. And we have Power Virtual Agent as part of this our Power Platform. So with the help of data connectors, AI builders, and then common data service. Common data services, you can integrate with any other stream of data. So AI builder is for building your logic, like, okay, artificial intelligence logic, like what happens, like if you have a receipt in your hand, and if you want to push all the details on your receipt directly to your system, so you can use your camera app, click the image of the receipt, and then import all the data which is on the receipt to your some table or some list. So this can be built by AI builder. And data connectors is that between the data two different systems, how do you connect? Like Power Automate and Power Virtual Agent, how do you connect? So data connectors, or to a different stream of data, how do you connect? So using all these tools, we have a strong system to build a rapid application in very short time. So that's the main advantages. I've just put it on in the points here. So I'll just read those out. So rapid bot development toolkit. Let's hassle in management, build and deployment. We'll just see how quickly we can build a bot. Then graphical user interface bot builder. Earlier we had this Azure bot framework, which was very strong, but the only problem was it was all code. There was no graphical interface to that. So you'll have to actually build the code, deploy it, and then see the bot in a working action. But during the build stage, there was no UI for the bot to be built. Then the intuitive conversation builder. So this I have to show a demo on this, like where conversations, like let's say that how the normal conversations happen. Like, okay, I need to book an appointment. I need to book some movie slot, or I need to order something. So everything is conversational based. So this Power Virtual Agent supports conversations as a chat input. Then intent prediction built in as topic. So like for every action, we'll come to this in detail. Topic, action, and that we can see in the detail in the next slide. And the last point is no code required. Like as I mentioned, you don't have to write a single line of code. Like either a C# or Java or whatever language, you don't have to write all that to build a app bot here. Okay, so moving further, so topics. I meant the topics is like, let's say that greeting. Greeting is one of the topics, like hi, hello, good morning, good evening, how are you? All these are greeting. So these all greeting type of conversations can be clubbed into one unique one system and one entity, and it can be called as system topics. Like escalate. Like if somebody wants to talk to an agent, they can either say talk to agent, or talk to manager, call agent, call manager, or they can say escalate. So those keywords, everything can be clubbed and then can be added into one topic. If you see here the numbers, so greeting topic has 52 conversational keywords like this, like good afternoon, hi, hello. So 52 of them, and escalate has 65 of them. So you can have all the similar like synonyms of the conversational way, or you can put it in a different way. Active, passive, anything. You can try all the combinations and then create one topic and use these topics in your chat. So we'll see how we can customize the greeting chat and then use it in our chatbot. Then trigger phases, like this is one of the greeting. Let's assume that this is one of the topics, and how do you want to like store hours is our topic. So if somebody wants to know what are the store hours, they can ask many such type of questions, like are you open at noon? Are you open during Christmas Eve? Are you open during 9 a.m.? So when somebody puts the questions like this, then a series of actions will happen. So that's the reason they have clubbed all these similar type of questions into one topic, and based on this topic, our next action is invoked. I hope I am clear with the topic. Then next we have something called as entities. Like these are our data kind of data types, like age, boolean, city, color, continent, country. So I'll give you one example here where money is one of the entity. So if user can input like it costs $1,000, or they can input like 3 items for $1K. So here it is $1,000. Here it is $1K. But both actually mean the same. The way the conversation is different. So these things can be created as an entity. So 1,000, if someone input as $1,000, internally it will be converted as 1,000. So if somebody inputs this, it will be converted as 1,000. Or if even in the numerical format, the tool is powerful to convert it into a saved value, just to see what is the saved value, and if it is found, match is found, the value will be saved as 1,500. So these are the entities. So these are the pre-built entities which already is integrated into the system. So you just have to declare what type of inputs you will have in your system, and then you can continue. Okay, this is about the conversational mode. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to see what conversation mode you can provide. Say, baseball, basketball, hiking. These are the different options. You just have to select it, and while building, you can see what is the next flow. So the selected ones, if you see here, the green marks. So these are the series of actions that are already executed successfully. If there is a cross here, then these are not successfully executed. So the person who is building this will be clearly understanding, okay, something went wrong here, and they can easily fix it. So this is a conversational builder, and everything is a graphical interface. So more convenient for not only just hardcore developers, but even the business analysts can do this because it's for conversational mode. Okay, and we need one of the other Power Platform product, which is Microsoft Flow. Initially, it was called as Flow. Now it is Power Automate. So that we need to use the Power Automate because we have a sequence of flow, and we need to take particular action like sending an email. So when you build something, you definitely need to send email because ultimately everything needs to be communicated. Not everything in the system help you. So you need to become, if there is an appointment, if it is cancelled, you need to know if it is cancelled. If it is scheduled to some other time, you need to know that. So you need to call an email service. So either it can be Outlook, it can be Gmail, it can be like any of the other your company integrated mail system. So you can call all those services. I just took one example as I listed down here. There are n number of services available using the Power Automate. So you can just, based on your action, you can call any of these services and achieve functionality very easily. So the main important action needed is we have something called as environment. So your flow and your Power Automate needs to be in the same environment. Like example, let me show that out. Here, the selected environment is a Cognizant Technology Solution. So your Power Automate also needs to be in the same environment for them to have a connection between. So if that doesn't, if they're not in the same environment, then it will be tough for the communication to happen. So that's the main requirement. And oh, sorry. So and then everything should be solution. Everything should be added in one solution, and then solution should be invoked in your Power Platform. Let me show you that in the demo. And then everything should be invoked as an API, like HTTP trigger. Like when an HTTP response is received, what needs to happen? Because through the Power agent, Power Virtual Agent, you are sending a request. It's like an this is all web interface, right? Like your chatbot can be integrated into your web page. Chatbot can be integrated into your mobile app. So every request is sent as a HTTP request, HTTP trigger. So and in your Power Automate, you need to invoke that as a like when an HTTP response is received. So that is very important point. Let's see the demo directly. Okay. Okay, so this is my home, like Power Virtual Agent home. If you see that I already have a bot here by the name First Bot. So this window is a test bot. You can directly test here. As you keep on building, you can keep on testing your bot here in this test bot window. And you have this homepage wizard, like author topics, publish your bot, monitor performance, and some learn links. And here on the left nav, you have home, topics, entities, analytics, publish, and manage. Home is where you see that. Topics is where I mentioned you can describe your own topic. Like it can be like predefined. These are the system topics which are predefined, and you can try to add or add your own simple topics, which if you want to, which suit your requirement. Like if you can. Holiday days. If I want to, if somebody asks me holiday days, then I can, this topic will be called, and based on that, the action will be performed. So how you call the topic is I'll show you in the demo. Then entities, as I mentioned, you predefined set of data types. Then analytics is where you see all the usage statistics of your bot, like how well your bot was used, how what times was it called, when is the high data hit time, all those things you can view in the analytics tab. All the sessions, building, if there's a feedback received, if there is a rating received on your bot, everything can be viewed in the customer satisfaction tab. Then publishes, how do you publish your bot and how do you add it in your own personal website, or if you want to use the demo website. Microsoft has given this demo website. So when you click on this demo website, you will be redirected to this page where your chatbot is added onto this page, and you have some classic text on the left. You can actually customize this. You just need to download the page, like they have given a page for this, and you just need to download that and change the text all. So if you don't want to start with something big, you can just try using this page which is already given by Microsoft. Then you have something like how do you manage the authentication, how do you manage all the other channels, like how do you connect to Facebook, Teams, how do you add your bot, all this. So these are the channels where you can connect authentication and some skills. Like skills is like how do you add like Cortana skill. So if you want your bot also to be synced up with Cortana agent, which is of a Microsoft bot, how do you add the skill here? So these are the top options provided by the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent. Now moving on to the first topic, first section, which is the topic. When I say customize your greeting, it will pull up the editor where you will see all your logic. So just this get pulled up. Okay. So if when somebody invokes, when somebody says that hello or good afternoon, then immediately what needs to be called? So we need to show a message. So this is our topic. So when any of the text in this topic is triggered, immediately this message box is shown. So that's how you call a topic. So you can add one more topic here, and then on the invoke of that, what needs to be added. So you can just give that flow. So we can see how it actually works. I can do a reset here, and then I'll say class between topics. What does this do is this gives you flow, like how what is invoked at what time. So I'll just say hello. So if you see in the right window here, you actually execute the code actually executed this trigger phase hello, and then it executed this, like it just gave a message which is like hi, I'm virtual agent. This was printed onto your chat window. Then the next message is if you'd like to speak to a human agent, next answer the following. So immediately there is a question. So after question, it has to wait for an input. Only if the input is provided, next flow has to go. So the sequence of execution is until here, and next execution is not yet done. So it is like it's not highlighted with any mark. If they assume that if there was any failure here, so it would be a cross mark with red color. So this is the tracking between the topics for the developers to build it easily. Now, since this is a question, I definitely have to provide an input, and rather than typing, it's always useful or it's always good to have teachers to provide them the option to select, because that's what everyone expects these days when you contact the customer support or some chat specialist. Like, you don't have to type, you just have to keep on speaking. So that's very easily done here in the Power Virtual Agent, is where you have an option like ask a question. So this is your question statement, what needs to be asked. And then you need to select like what type of question is it? Is it a multiple choice question, or is it the entire response? Like, if you ask some question, should you just take everything what user has provided, or is it just the age, or is it a Boolean? So these are all inbuilt entity types. So you can add your own, you can build your own entity and then you can add it here and use that in your chat. So for now, since we wanted to know basics, so this chat is about taking care of your health. Like, if you want to book an appointment with a hospital, how does the flow go? So in this, the question is, are you experiencing any of the following symptoms? So options are fever and cough. So based on this selection, the next sequence of action will call. Now I'll select fever. So the flow will go to the next tab, which is here, this condition. So we are having one if check here, like condition check. If whatever user entered, like this is what was passed by the previous action. I entered fever. If that is equal to fever, you have to first give the whatever is the selection, and you have to check the condition. If it is equal to fever, then what is the next series of action? Then there is another question here. Are you having shortness of breath? When I say yes, next sequence of action. Okay, so there was a message given again, a standard message, and then there is an question again. How would you like to take an appointment? So this is again a question. I'll say I would like to visit the hospital and take an appointment to the hospital. So there is a branch out here. So since there were two questions, either if it is virtual meeting, the sequence would go here. But since I selected hospital, the sequence is here now. So in the sequence, I am trying to look for the name, because for the appointment, you definitely need the name. So I need to input the name now. Let's say I'll input my name, Anu. So it is storing all the value in one of the variables. You can actually rename the variables. You can give a proper naming. And now I need to get an appointment receipt. So I would like to give the email address, dr.anusuya@gmail.com, and my zip code. Like, say if I give the wrong zip code, it will prompt us, because this is one of the entity. Remember, we saw the money and all. So this is one of the entity. There is already a validation happening inside. There are a lot of code written to check the actual zip code. So it said that I didn't understand. I need to provide the actual zip code, which is of 5 digits. And they would like to know when should I actually visit. So let me give 07/14/2020, and I'll just say 1 o'clock. So now, since it is a date and time entity, it is actually looking for, is it 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. So I'll say 1 p.m. Immediately, the next flow was like, after this, we need to show a message, and then there is an action. This an email has been sent to. So in the background, there is a flow Power Automate called. The email functionality has been invoked, email has been sent, and with the status, like if email has been sent successfully, you would print this message. If there was a failure in the email message, this message would not have been printed on the chat window. So since it was a success, it is this message is printed. So how do we confirm it is a success? You actually will receive the email. I provided my email address, talk to Anusuya. Let's just validate it. Okay, here is the email. So I just received this at 1:37 p.m. So I in the Power Automate, I just used the email address instead of name. So no, we have received your request. Just wait for our call. So this is a simple message. Now let's see how did we invoke the Power Automate here. So one option I have is, on clicking of this plus, you will see an option call an action. So what does this call an action do is, this will call your Power Automate. So I can when I click on that, it will give you this option like what call an action and what parameter needs to be passed. So what I'm doing is I'm asking them to, I'm passing the value to whom it has to be sent. I'm calling one of the Power Automate. So this I have opened it here. When I click on this, this will open you the Power Automate. It has to be, as I mentioned, it has to be in the same environment. So I selected the same environment and I created a new flow. Under my flows, you can actually see where is your, you can go ahead and create a new flow, scheduled flow, or create some template, or else you can just like from here, you can just create a call an action and it will ask you to create a new flow. So once you click the new flow, once you are ready with the flow, you can start editing it. And then, as I mentioned already, everything is an HTTP response. So the first action you need to do is call this, invoke this method when a HTTP request is received. How do you do that? Just click on this plus add an action. Initially, first time when you do this, it will be a start here and it will ask you to choose an action. So in the actions, I say HTTP is received. Oh, sorry about that. So immediately you will start seeing invoke an HTTP or when a HTTP request is received, all these options related to the HTTP. So everything will be received. Like you can just look for when a HTTP webbook or a premium. So this option will be selected. So once you select this, you need to provide all the details. Like what type of, you have to have the email ID, right? The user will provide you the email ID. So that needs to be used it here. So that is your input parameter. So you have to actually save that input parameter in one of the streams and pass that input parameter here to your send email. So what I do is I will say that send an email. I'll look for send email option. So I'll give you I'll get send an email, send email with options, send email with a shared mailbox, forward an email. So there are multiple options you get with the different versions, like with Outlook, with the Office 365 Outlook, with Gmail, with other like send email with the Gmail. So you get all type of mail options here. So here, what I've selected is send an email notification, basic email notification. So in the two, I need to use whatever is being provided by the end user. So I just select two. You can, if whatever is already predefined in this previous window will already be populated here. So you just have to select from whatever is populated. Let me close this up. And you just have to provide your subject. So NEMO hospital confirmation. So if you have seen the email we have received is from NEMO hospital confirmation. And what would be your body is what is added here. So here I gave email address. Hey, the name instead of name, I've just selected the email address itself. So that's the reason email address is printed out there. So this is the body. And what needs to happen after that, you can just continue. After sending an email, if you want to update some system, or if you have to connect to some dashboard, or if you have to notify a doctor or someone, you can just call the next series of action and do click on save. Also, Microsoft Automate, Power Automate gives you an option to check whether there is an error in this existing flow and then test it out. Like it will ask you to perform an action already, which is already there with previous action, or if you want to perform it manually. So if you, let's say that I executed this, right? So if I want to test it once again with the same set of data, if I test it, an email will be generated again and sent to my mailbox with the same content. Because the data is saved here, what the previous history, there is a run history and all runs. So the data is saved with whatever has been run and it will test it. So just by help of a few of the flow, like few of the questions and answers, we built a system on how to book an appointment with a hospital. So, and email has been sent to the user when the after the confirmation. And like you can actually, instead of mentioning that, okay, we'll call, you can actually provide the appointment date and details, and also have a callback number and all this things. So just like in like half an hour, we built a system, chatbot system. So this is how easy it is to test it out and build it. And now if you want to publish it, you just, as I mentioned already, you can just embed. This is this bot will be just like an iframe. So you'll get an embed iframe script where you can just add it onto your stage like this. So if you start invoking here, you will see the actual bot in the live. So the same thing what we did there will be actually called here. So this is just an iframe. This can be embedded in any systems like desktop or even mobile Windows systems or mobile systems. You can just embed in any of those. So publishing is also very easy. And analytics, as I already explained, will give you what time it was run, what is the frequency of the visit, like is it the daytime, are there more requests, or what is the time of more appointments of chats using the chatbot. So based on that, you can set it up, the number of agents on this, number of servers you can allocate, number of hits or threads you can start running. So all this can be handled in the analytics. Now let's go back to the slide. And you can all, like I mentioned, you can place it in Azure web application also. For that, you need to do some coding here because Azure web application actually itself is like where you need to build using the Visual Studio Code. So you just have to provide your bot details. All this data will be given out to you in one of the page. So you just have to provide the details and embed in the Azure web app. Analytics, as I mentioned, provides you so much of details on what can be seen. Like, let me just note this. What type of summary chats, engagement chats, session outcomes, resolution rates, escalation rates. So if there, how many chat requests were escalated, how many were resolved, how many are engaged over time. Like for example, if the user keeps on asking and if they don't find the answer, then you can set a time limit and you can say, okay, then definitely an agent has to go and talk there. So you can schedule that. So and using the analytics, you can see that limit. So total engagements, these are more advanced options what you can get in the analytics. And there are some few pointers. What I would like to mention is Microsoft Flow Action always builds the response body directly. Like I've shown you, right? Like in the JSON object, like where 2 was sent, like that is my input parameters. You will have to build that manually for a better control because you need to use those variables in your send email or some other actions underneath. So it is good to build it manually. Then as of today, array and Boolean outputs from Flow is not supported. Like you can't send multiple outputs as an array to the par virtual agent back from the Flow. Then virtual agent expects a preset JSON response. So whatever is being sent from the Flow should be a JSON response, and you need to use a JSON response as of today. Then rich text is still not yet supported. You can't embed rich text in the images or files in the chatbot. You just have to do a user like just a conversational write-up of questions and answers. Then branding of the bot is not supported. Right? Branding in the sense like where if you have like in this, if this is just a basic this one. So if you want to customize this like this button or options of this questions and all, if you want to customize this more further, that is not yet provided yet as of today. Then analytics last 30 days. Like if you want to have more analytics like past 6 months usages, that is not yet provided. So you can just see the last 30 days analytics on the dashboard. You have to save those analytics somewhere in your own system and then see for last 6 months. But as of the dashboard, analytics dashboard, what is provided to you, you just see last 30 days. And this is the licensing details where per user license and tenant license. So this is pretty standard. You can find this information in Microsoft Pages if you want to use Power Virtual Agent, like 2K chats per session, per tenant, per month. Then the 10 GB is the capacity, 20 GB is the file capacity, number of files. Then logging, how much logging you can do is 2 GB. So basic details. So you need to have per user license and then tenant license to use the Power Virtual Agent in your environment. So these are the references I just used. And that's all my content. And I would like to thank the sponsors for providing this opportunity and conducting a good call. And please leave this feedback about the event and about my topic. And I would like to thank everyone once again. Thank you.